Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. Hope everyone is doing okay today. It's 1:25 p.m. Let me check my mic. Let me check my sound. Always check your sound. So I know usually look, while I'm thinking about it, guys, I want to say I appreciate all the help that you guys give to the show. Sending videos, liking, sharing, super chat, patron, all of those things are helpful. The video that I did on Sham Cedar and his work wife, that was audience sent in. I think Danny Knapp sent that one in. I'm not going to go through names because there will be too many names and I'm going to miss somebody and they're going to be angry at me or potentially angry at me. I'm just going to say thank you all for your help. You guys immensely help the show. So, Interesting news. This gentleman here, Michael Tracey. Michael Tracey was one of the reporters that they hired for TYT. And if I'm being honest, maybe aside from Jordan, maybe equal, one of the best. Michael Tracey was fucking awesome. I don't use that often, and maybe that's a lie. Maybe I do use it often, but I don't necessarily use often in comparison to the number of people that are on the planet. There's 7 billion people on the planet. Me saying fucking awesome is few and far between from the standpoint of the number of people on the planet, planetary distribution. So, I'm saying, a lot of wood to chop to justify the point, but Michael Tracey is fucking awesome. I tend to like his stories. I tend to like his analysis of those stories. And he was also one of those people who were like, the Russian stuff is nonsense. Uyghur, after hiring the guy, puts a knife in the guy in one of his episodes because Uyghur, of course, was one of the Russophobes who were on the network. Michael Tracey is out. Whether laid off, fired, whatever you want to use the term, Michael Tracey is no longer associated with the Young Turks network officially. Right here. Don't take my word for it, he said it himself. Programming note. I've departed the Young Turks. It was an interesting experience. Other things are in the works, but I'm always open to suggestions. Get in touch. The fuck does that mean? What does that mean? That's a yada yada. I don't like yada yadas. People use yada yadas, but oftentimes the yada yada is where all of the meat is. Yeah, Mom, while you're away for vacation, I, went to school and I had lunch, played a little Xbox, and, yada yada. Yada yada. Nothing but the porn star over the house. Nothing but the orgy that was had on the living room counter where Mom is eating now. Nothing but the party. None of that stuff. Yada, yada. Yada yadas is the most interesting part of a conversation. Sometimes. Depends on the person. And I think interesting here is the operative word. I want to know what that means. Yo, I want to know what that means. Like, look, if somebody says, I work for the Young Turks, it was an amazing experience. I would love to do it again. I'm sorry to go. Straightforward to the point. Something took place. You had to leave. I'm curious about why you left. Fair enough. Seeing as you have a heartfelt thing associated with the experience. But it's a little bit more formed. I worked at this place. It was an interesting experience. And most people use the term interesting not necessarily in the most glowing and positive terms. If it was glowing and positive, you would just say those glowing and positive terms. You wouldn't need to use the term interesting because it's too diffuse to get across something that's glowing and positive. I want to know what that means. That's what I'm saying. I want to know what that means. It was an interesting experience. I want to know what that means. Fuck. And he's probably under contractual agreement to not say anything about what interesting means, and interesting is the most he could resist the corporate hegemonic chokehold of a contract. And so the best that he could push back in this kind of Hunger Games fashion, a diminutive of Hunger Games, interesting. They can't stop me from saying interesting. Bastards. They can't stop me from saying interesting. Look, I've given you my perspective of this, and I've given you my reasoning for the perspective. I didn't come from that perspective just because I was born into the perspective. No. From my understanding, a source close to the network is making the point that money issues. I'd never be overly strong on that point because I can't prove that point. It's one of those things where it's like somebody tells you something and it's like, okay, but that's all you got. It's just a source. It's like CNBC says I have a source, or this person says a source. But I guess my point in this is, it's one of those things of you're bleeding people. I mean, you got $20 million. Not to mention $20 million on top of the $20 million. You're talking about the money that the audience said, here, I want you guys to have journalists. And I remember Cenk Uygur looking into the camera saying, we're going to have journalists all across the country. They're going to be gangbusters. We're going to have journalists all over the place. Chuck Schumer gets off the toilet and there'll be a journalist. We're going to be all over. Now you're firing Tracey. I'm not going to keep this one long because I want other shows, but just saying. Oh shit, how much did I miss? No, you didn't miss much. Michael Tracey's gone. And you know the sad part is, I like Michael Tracey. I like him. I don't want to see him gone. It's like they're yeah, and I don't think he responded to any of that stuff, so it was no point. Meaning he didn't give further into it. But clearly, I'm not the only one that liked Michael Tracey. Congrats, mate. You were the last person left there with any integrity, and they seemingly treated you. Oh, look at this. I love this. Just so you can see how people felt about Michael Tracey, because I'm clearly not the only one who thought this way. Come on. Congrats, mate. He's pushing ass Australian. Congrats, mate. You were the last person left there with any integrity and seemingly treated your opinion like shit. You will be far better off on your own if that's what you chose to do. Either way, best of luck. I'm not the only one who liked him, man. So, yeah, there's that. And right here, bullshit man. Hooray! Finally, Michael Tracey has jumped off the sinking TYT ship. You'd be far better for it, mate. I suggest you start your own thing independently. You already got a whole heap of supporters, even those that don't always agree with you, like yours truly. Good luck. Tracey, I started this video kind of just as a thing with Michael Tracey's leaving TYT. But I kind of agree with bullshit, man, and I'm going to convert this video into something else. I don't know why you left. I don't know why me. Okay, we do know why you guys left. At least we think we know why you guys left. Budgetary constraints. I remember when Nomi left TYT, was let go of TYT when they let her go. I've greatly disagreed with her perspective on the DNC. Greatly. And despite greatly disagreeing with her perspective on the DNC, I still had this feeling of, oh, that sucks. I didn't like it from a I know this sounds weird, from a soul level. It was like this kind of emotionally feeling something that wasn't necessarily belonging to me, but that I kind of understood. I understood the pain. The pain made sense. My thinking, and my thinking of this could be wrong, but somebody who was politically and philosophically in line with what the company was doing. Meaning, from her standpoint, and I'm going to get to Tracey, but I'm using her as this kind of pivot point. She loved what she was doing. In my head, anyway. She wanted to do news stories. She wanted to present a perspective to the world that corporate media, or that, let's say, corporate media plus on steroids, real corporate media, wouldn't necessarily allow her to do and present. And she left that sanctum and went down to TYT thinking that an independent media organization would allow me a certain amount of freedom, and I'll be able to get to these stories that I care about but that I can never touch in those places. And I would imagine at one point she felt at harmony with what was taking place with regards to, at the very least, the stories that she could do. She said it herself. I got to go to Puerto Rico. I got to see Jeremy Corbyn. I got to do this. I got to do that. And she got to present it. I'm a journalist. This is what I'm doing. Now, I think at some point that journalism started to blur with the political stuff. But nevertheless, just from the standpoint of I'm doing what I am philosophically aligned to do, or whether my ethics, tell me what I want to do, I can appreciate that. And not just appreciate it, I can have some degree of longing at the point where it's lost, even though, no, it's not me that's experiencing it. It's weird. I try to put myself in other people's spot, and I could feel a certain amount of pain associated with that. Add on to the fact of not necessarily having the resources met because the company was supplying your resources. I don't know what the situation was for Michael Tracey. Now, for Nomi, just going by her post after she left the company, there was a longing in those posts. That is not a person who wanted to go. That's a person who walked away looking back wistfully at the thing that they walked away from with the sad Incredible Hulk music playing in the background, like Bruce Banner walking away. That's what that was like. Michael Tracey's is more, yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting. In either case, hers or Tracey's, it's not the easiest thing in the world to just turn around and start a company. I mean, shit, man. TYT was doing this for a very long time before they got to the point of like aggregating around, we're doing a network and a company. I'm just saying it's not the easiest thing to just, I'm going to do this. No, you have needs to be met. And you just want to eat and sleep. And by the way, if there was a UBI or if there was something to that effect built into their system, that would be a hell of a lot easier to do. He could go away and do his journalism with a little kickback from the government that allows him to get himself up and running. But that's not what we have. He has to make his needs met. She has to get her needs met. They need to get paid from somewhere, or they need to generate it from somewhere. It's not the easiest spot to be in. So I don't necessarily think this just immediately, start your own network is the easiest thing. That being said, Michael Tracey was one of the best of them. Like it's hard to get that across. What Bullshit Man is saying here is right. Tracey was, at least to me, one of the best. I was annoyed by the way he treated Peter Joseph. Yes. I thought he was a complete dick to Peter Joseph. Let's put that on the table. But for the other stuff, I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. And I don't have that experience of hooray, he's leaving. It's more so, ooh, that sucks. Ooh, that sucks. Sucks for him as a person, but it also, from standpoint of his expenses. But it also sucks because I don't get to see him now because I don't know where the fuck he's going to be, if he's going to be anywhere. Not to mention he was only there few and far between in and of itself. So yes, I want to see Michael Tracey somewhere else. Yes, I want Michael Tracey to keep kicking ass in what Michael Tracey was doing. I know, I don't think it's a good thing that Michael Tracey left. Because where is Michael Tracey going to go? And if Michael Tracey is on MSNBC, is Michael Tracey still going to be Michael Tracey? There are consequences. That's all. But long story short, all the way around the bend in order to get to the point of saying Michael Tracey is no longer along with TYT, or no longer there at TYT. Alright. If you enjoy the content, please feel free to share, like, subscribe, and of course, you can always support through Patreon. I think I'm going to do a 420 on the next vid. There's an awesome story talking about the remote viewing program of the United States government. But it misses the best parts. Like it misses the best parts. It's like having a UFO craft sitting here and somebody says, hey, look at this little box. This little box is supposed to be some kind of, alien technology. But fuck. The craft is right there. And it's a bad analogy. I couldn't think of an analogy. But I'm trying to make this point that the big stuff and the people who are involved in the program, they completely miss it. So I'm going to leave this one here. I don't want this one to go too long. I'll see you guys shortly. Thanks, everyone.